5 and 10 from Skywatch TV for Friday, September 29th, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert with our Friday 5, the 5 big stories of the week. And as you can hear, our friend Jack out there on his yard tractor taking care of our lawn for us today. That's the noise in the background. Topic number 5 this week, the war in Ukraine. We told you this week that performance artist Marina Abramovich, the woman infamous for her spirit cooking rituals, announced this week that she'd been invited to become an ambassador for Ukraine, helping to raise money to rebuild schools. If that wasn't bizarre enough, the parliament in Canada had a visit from Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky last Friday, at which the parliament stood and gave us an ovation to a 98-year-old Ukrainian man who fought in World War II against the Russians. However, Speaker of the House of Commons, Anthony Rota, didn't bother to check that Yaroslav Hunka had served in the Waffen-SS. Yes, Canada's parliament gave a standing ovation to a literal Nazi. So on Tuesday this week, the Speaker of the Commons, he resigned, and Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has apologized to Volodymyr Zelensky for the error. We also learned this week that U.S. Abrams main battle tanks began to arrive in Ukraine last weekend. Whether the arrival of the tanks or the promised F-16 fighters will have any impact on the ultimate outcome of the war is doubtful, as the corporate media's narrative is now beginning to shift, admitting that the counteroffensive launched by Ukraine in June is just not going as well as they'd hoped. You can see on the map on the screen from BBC News, the red area was the territory captured by Russia last June. The small areas of purple, the areas recovered in the counteroffensive. According to The Economist reporting this week, that's less than 0.25% of the territory Russia captured last year has been recaptured by Ukraine. Less than 0.25%. The only questions at this point now are how much more money and how many more lives before peace. Topic number 4, the Bidens. Big week for the Bidens. Joe Biden spent 12 minutes on a picket line showing solidarity with the United Auto Workers in Detroit before heading off to a fundraiser in California, a billionaire couple that funds things like abolishing the police. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. The irony here is that Biden's push to make Americans drive electric vehicles, even though we don't want them, according to a recent survey, only 8% of Americans say their next vehicle will probably be an EV. Here in rural America, I'd say that's even less, because they're just useless out here in the country where there aren't any charging stations. Anyway, the irony is that electric vehicles require 40% fewer workers to assemble than internal combustion engine vehicles. So while the UAW may get some concessions from the big 3 automakers, if the Biden administration continues to push for EVs, fewer of them will actually be receiving paychecks. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden, who clearly has no sense of self-awareness, much less shame, sued Giuliani Tuesday for allegedly sharing his private digital data in what his lawyers say is a violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. The lawsuit accuses Giuliani and attorney Robert Costello of allegedly hacking into, tampering with, manipulating, copying, disseminating, and generally obsessing over data that they were given that was taken or stolen from plaintiffs' devices or storage platforms, end quote. They also claim that the images and videos were manipulated before being sent to Giuliani. Right. So all those images of drug abuse, prostitutes, and Hunter's private parts were added to the... We also learned this week that Hunter Biden received a $250,000 wire transfer while he was living at Joe Biden's house in Delaware. That $250,000 coming from Chinese business partners. We think this news is getting into the corporate media now because the deep state is trying to gently push Joe toward the exit before he runs for re-election. Topic number 3, chaos on the streets. We told you earlier this week about the 2 teens in Las Vegas facing charges of murder and attempted murder now. This after they went on a crime spree in mid-August where they took a stolen car and ran over 2 older white men, one of whom, 64-year-old Andreas Probst, was killed after he was the victim of the hit and run. Another older gentleman in his 70s suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Just the mindset of these kids is just absolutely astonishing. One 16-year-old, one 17, now 18-year-old. They're facing charges of murder and attempted murder, among other things. And then Tuesday night in Philadelphia, we told you about the crowds of mostly young people who went on a rampage, basically smashing and looting stores, causing property damage across the city of Philadelphia. According to local news reports, caravans of looters moved between various locations. Took police some time to get things under control. A few dozen people arrested, but there were hundreds involved in this. One social media influencer, a young lady who calls herself Meatball, more than 100,000 followers on Instagram, was live streaming the event. She is now in police custody. Pro tip, if you're going to go on a looting spree, do not live stream it because the cops might be watching. Her booking photo shows that she was clearly shocked and dismayed to learn that the police of Philadelphia were among her followers on Instagram. This is why, though, major retailers are pulling out of our cities. As we told you earlier this week, Target closing 9 stores from New York to Portland, Oregon, because they can't make money when people are not prosecuted for just walking out of their stores with hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise. Shoplifting has essentially been legalized in some of our biggest cities. Walmart has closed its stores in Chicago. San Francisco, the owner of a major mall, Westfield, just letting it go to foreclosure because you can't make a profit when people don't pay for stuff. We cannot have a civil society when people don't behave according to the law. We're going to find that pretty soon the only safe places in America are rural America. But unless we change the attitude towards policing in our biggest cities, that may not even last. Topic number 2, a CIA front. Interesting. That was the description by a whistleblower of EcoHealth Alliance. That's the company that received grants from Anthony Fauci's National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Disease, NIAID, to conduct gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Andrew Huff, former scientist with EcoHealth Alliance, posted a thread to Twitter last January claiming that not only is EcoHealth Alliance a CIA front organization, but the United States of America is primarily responsible for COVID, not China, end quote. That could explain why Dr. Fauci was reportedly smuggled into CIA headquarters without a record of entry, where he participated in the analysis to influence the agency's COVID-19 investigation. Don't say it was us. Don't say it was gain of function. Say it jumped from animals into humans. Fauci's alleged CIA meeting was revealed Tuesday this week in a letter from Subcommittee Chairman Brad Wenstrup to the Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Wenstrup wants documents, communications, and other evidence of contact between Fauci and the CIA. This part of an investigation by the House Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic. Coming up, irony in Michigan. Oh, Governor Whitmer. That's straight ahead on the Friday Five.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the Before Genesis Master Collection. When you order the Before Genesis Master Collection from the SkywatchTVStore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time by Dr. Thomas Horn and Donna Howell. In this phenomenal new work, you'll learn about the debate raging between the Old Earth and the Young Earth creationist groups, what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point to an intelligent race of beings on Earth alive before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen influence. And for the first time ever, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well, into one balanced and agreeable climax. But that's not all. You'll also receive the amazing DVD, What Lies Beneath, The Lost Secrets of the Watchers Below Göbekli Tepe, featuring archaeologist and author Dr. Aaron Judkins and best-selling author Derek Gilbert as they reveal Göbekli Tepe's historical use as a place of watchers worship. the evidence of a cult that venerated human skulls and reptilian creators, and the links between the god of Göbekli Tepe and the Bible. Also included in this must-have master collection are the digital, downloadable e-book versions of the Earth's earliest ages, unearthing the lost world of the Cloud Eaters, and the Apocrypha, including the Book of Enoch. These 3 masterpiece works will be available for download immediately when you place your order for the Before Genesis Master Collection and are being included in this offer absolutely free. All of these items hold a retail value of over $85. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Before Genesis Master Collection right now.
Item number 1 on the Friday Five this week, irony in Michigan. Child marriage is no longer legal in the great state of Michigan. Tuesday this week, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed the last of several bills to abolish the practice. She had already signed bills in July that raised the minimum age of marriage to 18, did away with a provision in the law emancipating minors if they are married, and ended the ability of parents to consent to marriage for the children. So the state will no longer condone children making decisions that they are too young to make, nor will it support parents who try to sign off on those decisions until the child is of the right age for his or her body and mind to be developed enough to be ready for that kind of commitment. Yes, in the state of Michigan, Governor Whitmer has sent a clear message that children should not be able to make life-changing decisions like this until they are ready. Hat tip to notthebee.com for bringing this story to light. The irony here, is that just 1 month ago, in August, Governor Whitmer's Attorney General, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, joined a multi-state coalition of 20 attorneys general opposing laws affecting transgender youth in Kentucky and Tennessee, which restrict the use of hormone therapy, surgery, and puberty blockers. Not old enough to get married, old enough for permanently life-altering surgery, according to Michigan, and not just Michigan, but at least 19 other states across this land. Irony, thy name is Whitmer. This week in Skywatch TV, we are talking about the earliest ages in Earth's history. Was there something before Eden here on Earth? We think so. We explain why. I was part of the panel along with Tom Horn, Donna Howell, joining Joe Horn and the Skywatch investigative team. This series is going to run 6 weeks. Don't miss it, because this is one a lot of people feel very strongly about. You got to dig deep into the scriptures to get your information on this one. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. But you can watch the program right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. In fact, next week's program, already a preview at the website. You can also watch it at Roku or Apple TV if you've got the Skywatch TV channel for your set-top box. Also check out the YouTube channel for the main program at Skywatch TV Now, or our Rumble channel, rumble.com/SkywatchTV. Better yet, get our free app for your smartphone or tablet, because all of our content is brought right into your device that way, bypassing the gatekeepers of big tech. It also adds features like an audio Bible with multiple translations, news updates 3 times a week, the news the mainstream media wants you to miss, and more. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. Again, it is free, and we have links to those app stores at skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.